Hi guys, welcome back to the garage. Thanks for joining me today. Wanted to take a minute and kind of discuss some hacks that I use in the garage, or some construction hacks or adhesive hacks that I use and haven't heard much discussion about that I've been aware of. If you follow me at all on my builds, you'll know that I'll use like blue tape in a lot of different functions, whether it be keeping parts aligned while I'm gluing, or even using it to hold string down, kind of like an extra pinching finger when I need to use both of my hands, and it just assists me in my builds. Today I was putting my grip on my most recent build and realized that, or didn't realize, but felt like I should share another hack that I use when it comes to trying to hold pieces together. Because if ever you have punched in, do punches on leather when you're trying to work through both pieces of leather at the same time, it can get shifty on you and etc. In addition to that, I like to use this tool when I'm putting on my strike plates and arrow rests, along with some other applications that I'll cover in the course of this video. But this is made possible with the wonderful tool known as double stick tape. So double-sided tape. This is just a regular cellophane double-sided tape that I use and has served me very well. Hang in there for a sec. I'll show you how I utilize it to get real good results on basically the grip construction of my bows. When you're dealing with a really supple piece of leather, say for a grip, that you need to get lined up, such that you can get lacing holes punched through. I don't know if you guys suffer from what I do, but I can't seem to keep the sides lined up, and by the time I get to my finished wrap, all of a sudden the lace marks don't necessarily line up as well as they could. And so here's one of my hacks for a double stick tape application. And that is to just cut ourselves off a piece of double stick, put it down on our edge here. Then it can be kind of tricky to get the backing versus just taking the thing right off again. Just about got it there. There we go. If that's all the more fighting I got to do with this, then that's a win for me. So here we go. Edges are stuck together, and it'll punch right through the tape, and I'm not going to have any trouble now keeping my punch even on that entire seam without it shifting around on me and giving me some weird kind of a line to try and sew up and make look right in the end result. I'm getting ready to put my strike plate on my new bow here, and I like to do a circular strike plate these days. That's just kind of the I don't know, I guess my latest, greatest, or favorite way to do it. But I have put these, or applied them to a bow in a number of different ways, usually with either barge cement, or I would try to use Duco cement, like what I would fletch my arrows with. Interestingly enough, too, now as far as fletching arrows goes, I use tape, or double-sided tape from Bonnie. But I have kind of figured out over time that, when you do like a two-part contact cement type of deal, like a barge cement, it's very difficult to get the the cement on your bow and on your piece of leather such that it doesn't turn into a real mess when you're trying to apply it. And so here we go. I'm using double stick tape on my parts here, and I am going to just cut out around my leather as closely as I can without actually cutting the leather. Obviously, we don't want to change the shape of the leather. And then once I've gotten that handled, we'll remove the backing here. And this is always the tricky part, is getting the backing taken off. But it eventually behaves. And then I'll just use the very tip of a toothpick here, and I am able to then really pretty precisely lay that down where I want it to go, and that is not going to come off of there without being forced to come off. And it is sticky around all its edges, and is really, I've been doing this for a while, guys. This is the firmest way I have found and the cleanest way on your finish to get this accomplished. I'll do the same thing with my arrow rest, and I'll have an arrow rest on the bottom here. And I like to do this configuration because I know I can get the feather of my arrow to just ride against the actual wood of the bow itself, so it's not grinding up on the leather pieces. And so that's another function that I use double stick tape for to great effect. Okay, last but not least, if you followed along with my last build, you saw that I put a cork grip on my English style longbow. And if ever you have worked with cork and understand or realize its ability to soak up anything of liquid base, you realize that trying to glue cork can be a very challenging task. So for this grip, when I put it on, and it is firmly in place, it's really not going anywhere. But there are only two pieces of double stick tape that are holding it together. So to get the wrap established, I put a piece of tape down on the back of the bow at the grip, stuck the cork against that, wrapped the cork then across the way, and then another piece of double stick tape on this seam, and just laid it down on itself. And that is it. That is truthfully all that is holding this particular grip in place, and it does not turn, it does not move. It is as firmly in place as if I were to have glued it. The other beautiful part about that, and the same goes with this application as well, is that if you decide down the line that you want to change the style of strike plate, or the strike plate does in fact get messed up, or if the grip starts to degrade and you're starting to wonder if you need to replace it, you're not having to deal with all the residue and mess of a previous adhesive. We'll be able to take one cut off, and all we got to do is mess with the one strip of tape, which will easily be removed from the back in this instance, and of course in this instance very easily removed from the finish of the wood on this, just like coming off of the leather of the grip that we did. So, which by the way, this is it. So in any event, great tool. Double stick tape, guys, I don't know if you guys have really contemplated it as a adhesive in your arsenal of adhesives, but I keep a roll in my garage. Thanks for taking the time, guys, with me today, or this afternoon, to kind of get a feel for how we can do some different things, different materials, and different outcomes, just very reliable outcomes, however. If you like the content, like the video, and as always, please subscribe, and I will catch up with you guys next week.